On game one for the offense, got out there. Caleb threw around the ball around to a ton of targets, I think, in the game. It seemed like everyone got a pass in that one, so I think you're going to see more of that coming up today. Zachariah Branch, the introduction to college football with a big return, a ton of yards in all capacities of the game, and moving around a lot of pieces, still trying to find out, kind of treated it like a preseason game a little bit, so I think we'll see a little more, maybe consolidation of plays to like players that we can see in position groups maybe moving forward. We'll see. Maybe this game, maybe next week we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think last week we were really taking what the defense gave us. We were going to take what we wanted, and there were a couple times where we threw a couple of questionable passes into coverage where, you might not want to see that later on in the season, but we understood what the assignment was last week. We dropped 56 on them, even with empty possessions. So USC's offense, we're not going to complain or worry about much of their production as the year goes on. And as you said today, you want to see, I think, deeper in the depth chart to see who's going to step up and provide depth for the Trojans.
Cody, when you look at Caleb Williams' debut, he was kind of overshadowed by Zachariah Branch. We'll get to Zachariah in a minute, but 4 touchdowns for the reigning Heisman winner, and that put him very close to the top of that exclusive club. But look at how few games it took him to get there. He has 10 4-touchdown games, accounting for 4 touchdowns, meaning pass rush combined, in 15 games as a Trojan. Leinart needed 39 games to get to 10. That's where he capped out. Barkley has the record, Matt Barkley, at 11. It took him 47 games. Caleb just on another level.
Yeah, Caleb played really well last week. 18 of 25, 72% through the air, had 278 yards and 4 touchdowns. And you see a great ball here to start things off to Dorian Singer. But like Sua said, I thought Caleb was very aggressive. Played a very good football game. Yes, he did take some risks, but I thought he did a great job of being accurate with the football and giving our guys an opportunity. And when you have the playmakers that USC does on the offensive side of the ball, it's okay to throw those 50-50 balls up in the air. It's okay to give our guys a chance and trust that they're going to come down with it. But again, I see, like you mentioned, 10 4-touchdown games and only 15 games, one shy of the record. I wouldn't be surprised if he ties that here today against Nevada.
Sean, we were having a little bit of a conversation during the broadcast last week where I got the sense that you and Pete Arbogast kind of were hoping or maybe expecting he would change his approach a little bit at the beginning of the season, protect himself because of the way last season ended. I didn't really see that, did you?
No, he didn't look like he was trying to protect himself. In fact, I think probably the worst play of the game for him was taking that sack, so trying to extend the play. So he's out there. He wants to make plays with his feet, but he's going to be. I think he's always looking to throw the ball. You think he wants to run the ball everywhere? I don't know.
I think he wants to use his legs. And
okay.
Sometimes he needs to be a runner. We saw him in big games last year, rack up rushing yards, but at the end of the day, I just think he is who he is, and I don't think that there's going to be any sort of padding around him this year, not putting him in a bubble. I think he just sort of plays ball, and you hope he stays healthy. The hamstring was what it was. It was on a great run last year in that game. It wasn't from contact or anything. It just went in that Pac-12 championship game, But Sua, one guy with 2 great hamstrings we saw last week was Zachariah Branch, a true star-is-born performance from the young freshman. And we were sort of racking our brains, but there have not been many true freshmen that just hit it from day one. I mean, we've seen some great true freshman seasons here at USC, but not many debuts like that.
Well, I knew that this guy was going to be special when we saw that 7-on-7 clip of 3 men jumping him at a 7-on-7 tournament, and he still got open somehow. And that's the type of guy he is. He's been that since he's arrived in the spring game. He flashed and showed those signs of, number 5 and a couple other guys he's been compared to this week. So I expected it. I chose him as my impact player of the game because this is somebody I knew. The moment he touches the ball, there's no telling what he might do with it, and I'm just glad he got to do it in his first game because now the rest of the world is watching. Week 0, we were the only game on.
Cody, we talked last week about does this team have a number 1 receiver? Can number 1, a true freshman, be the number 1 receiver this season?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He obviously 232 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. He's explosive in the return game, both in kickoffs and punts. But I'm glad that we got to see his ability in the offense as well. But there were a lot of guys that touched the football. Like Sean mentioned earlier, 12 different receivers caught a pass last week. So I still think it's up for grabs for that wide receiver 1. But Zachariah Branch absolutely stated his case last week for that position.
Sean, we thought it was up for grabs for RB1 as well. And I think more people that I talked to were leaning, thinking, okay, Marshawn Lloyd's going to come in and this is his job. day one, it looked like it's Austin Jones' job, and Marshawn Lloyd is sort of, the 1B behind him. And then we saw a lot more Quentin Joyner than I expected.
Yeah, I think this is the day and age of college football, even in the NFL. You get at least you have two horses, and you run the heck out of them. Guys are going to get tired. Injuries occur at that position. You want all these guys ready. I thought Quentin Joyner had a heck of a game. Darwin Barlow, he's going to come in and have an explosive run. You know that. So, good 1-2 combo, I think, in Austin Jones and Marshawn Lloyd. I think Marshawn Lloyd, a little slow to start, but he got it going, I thought. You haven't used to seeing his running style. We've seen Austin Jones' running style and what he's going to do out there, number 6. Got it going early. Marshawn Lloyd, we're seeing what he's going to do. Looked a little bit loosey-goosey at first, and he got his feet under him, and he made some productive runs.
It's funny, only 6 carries for Austin Jones. It felt like a lot more than that because they were so productive. He broke one. He had the 2 touchdowns, but a nice solid start for him. Marshawn Lloyd made some plays as well, and I think we'll see all the USC running backs again here today. Saw a lot of different players and new faces on defense as well. We will get into that when we get back. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Alas, the ship rides through the morning. You know it's calling, me back home, put down the sorrow, and dance to me.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
Griffin is on it, shoots and scores! Ball through, into the middle of the box. Colbert finishes it off! With the left foot!
Not gonna believe this, girl. I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
Opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics and AM/PM. Too much good stuff. Another proud sponsor of USC Athletics. Proud to be here on the 100th birthday of the Coliseum. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sua Cravens, Cody Kessler on the Tailgate Show, Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. And, I think all eyes were on the defense guys going into last week. Everyone sort of felt good, felt like they knew what to expect from the offense. The defense, so many new people, and obviously a disappointing last season. And the opener was kind of underwhelming, just sort of up and down. So what did you like? What didn't you like, Sean?
Well, I like the talent level out there. I think you can see guys pop out there. You saw the new additions. I like the rush end position. I thought Anthony Lucas and Jamil Muhammad both had good starts. They look athletic out there. The big guys at the middle, Bear Alexander, look good rushing the passer. But there was some things to be wanted. I think there's some calls maybe that Coach Grinch wanted back, and then they weren't performed. They didn't perform to execute those calls like he wanted as well. So, first game, you get out there, you ran a ton of bodies out there. Was it a great defensive performance? No, not by any means, but some stuff to work on, but also some things that looked right.
I'm not upset, actually. As far as the passing yards go, their best player was their quarterback, and I think he's the projected Mountain West Player of the Year, and he's going to be – San Jose is going to be in the Mountain West Championship, not fighting for a conference championship this year. So as far as from a DB's perspective, I'm not mad at 198 yards from, quote-unquote, the best quarterback in that conference. As a DB, if you can hold an offense to less than 200 yards throwing, that's an okay day. Now, obviously, you don't want 200 yards rushing on the flip side of that, and there's some chunk plays that we need to get better at, discipline, young guys playing, and things like that. But from a DB's perspective, I have no complaints.
Cody, Sean said earlier in the week, he and Lincoln Riley were sort of talking about a handful of plays really making the difference between what could have been a really good defensive performance that turned into maybe more of an average one. You love watching the film. Is that more or less what you saw?
Yeah, I think they played great overall. I think there's some areas to improve on, obviously, but a couple plays that stick out. That 3rd and 22 conversion, obviously, is one they'd like to have back. It looked like they tried to play either a 2-invert or a 2-man, but I think they were focused so much on keeping San Jose State out of field goal range. They were at the 40-yard line, so I understand being aggressive there, but let's not give up a big play and give up 30 yards on 3rd and 22. Also, the play right before the half, the touchdown that San Jose State had, looked like another confusion in the back end on a 2-invert coverage. And then the last play that kind of stuck out was that 4th down run by San Jose State's running back where we gave up a 57-yard rush. Looked like a little confusion up front, trying to shift later on. But overall, I thought it was a good defense, a lot to improve on, a lot to work on, and I expect to see him get better here today against Nevada.
So I just thought a lot of new guys out there, a lot of young guys, maybe even more young guys than I expected, and at times it looked like guys that just hadn't played together under live fire.
Yeah, and that's going to happen the first few games, and you expect that to happen, especially with a lot of young guys, and especially, I was watching Tackett Curtis. He's in there, and he's giving his full effort, but just being a young guy and not having the experience to see run scheme where you start getting, game planned a little bit. So then that's things that come with time and experience, but that's what's going to happen. You got 4 or 5 freshmen out there that haven't even worked with some of these transfers. Some of these transfers haven't worked with the team at all. So you just got to give them time. You expect by week 3 to be a little bit more clean.
Twitter or X, everyone's breaking down film now. That's amateur or even pros doing it, just casually is everywhere. And so, you sort of see the negative of that since everyone's just killing the 3rd and 22 defensive call. The positive of it, Sean, is, the stats didn't say that the pass rush got home a lot, but there were a lot of people talking up, saying, Bear was winning a lot of one-on-ones. You mentioned, Lucas and other players that maybe didn't have stats in the first game that stood out, but they were winning a lot up front.
Yeah, guys were winning up front. That's what you. When I watch the film, that's what I'm looking for, because you don't really know what Coach Grinch is talking like in his meetings, what he's telling players to do. So the only thing I can watch is our guys winning one-on-ones. Is Bear Alexander on 3rd down or 2nd down? Is he worked the inside move, a beautiful pass rush, got home. Anthony Lucas had some off the edge. Jamil Muhammad had the big hit. So guys were winning run-on-ones. Now they have to get better at rush lanes. I think the rush lanes were a little bit out of whack. And that 3rd and 22, I'm going crazy all week. They're blaming poor Mason Cobb all week for this play. Mason Cobb. I talked to Coach Lincoln, and Bear Alexander went inside, and that's why the whole thing kind of broke down. So you never know when you watch those guys, at home on the couch telling you what went wrong in the defense. But sometimes those guys don't know what the heck they're talking about.
So anyone stand out to you up front that maybe didn't have a huge stat day?
No, just like Sean was saying, everybody was flashing a little bit. It might not have been the
Elijah Hughes, man. He popped, right? He popped on the film. You didn't think this freshman was going to play.
Yeah, just a 3-star recruit.
He's down there on the depth chart, man. You're like, who's this kid coming in? And he got out there. I think he had 7-8 plays, and probably in on 3 or 4 plays out of those. So that's a good percentage. You want guys producing. That's one guy who popped off the film.
Yeah, there's just flashes all over the film. I mean, you can speak for it like Eric Gentry. He didn't start the game, but then when he came in immediately, he almost had a tackle for loss, and he disrupted some passing lanes and then came right back out. So, everybody's going to splash a little bit. You just got to find who works best cohesively.
Yeah, I know on the Victory podcast, Cody, listening to Dion's recap, Jamil Muhammad was one that stood out to him too, and we talked to him after the game. He's such an interesting player because he comes from Georgia State, so you think, major jump up. He didn't have a huge year statistically, but he certainly looks comfortable out there like somebody who belongs at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. He flashed on film. He saw that great play where he almost got to Cordero, created havoc in the backfield, but the most exciting thing, and this is me being a little personal here, Jamil Muhammad actually played quarterback at Vanderbilt before he transferred, and then obviously
does not
transferred
look
again.
like a quarterback.
I know, but that's so awesome because as a defensive player, and I always tell people,
can he wing it? Have you seen him throw? Can he throw?
I don't know. I got to get him out here after the game. But I always tell people, as a quarterback, when you watch film, I would be better off calling a defense and understanding a defense because you watch so much film as a quarterback and understand what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball as opposed to calling plays on offense.
A guy who's going to be here today, I believe, Ajene Harris. Remember remember, was a quarterback when he came in and became a good defensive player here at USC, and a guy certainly had the same kind of brain that we are talking about. Hey, Sue, did you see Bronny was here last week?
He was?
Bronny was here, buddy. He was out there, was hanging with DJ Malski, throwing
That's
out
all right, because I got courtside tickets, so I'm going to see him.
Okay, all right. Well, Trojan fans, it's a new era for USC basketball. Both teams are coming off of NCAA appearances and have brought in the top recruits in the nation. Speaking of Isaiah Collier and Juju Watkins there. Purchase your season tickets today, usctrojans.com/tickets. So when we come back, it's time for the offensive game plan. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
You can feel it. A force that moves everything around it. With intensity and power that comes from deep down inside. Full-time fans, your passion is unshakable. And you deserve a reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
What if you could use retirement accounts to invest in crypto? With iTrust Capital, you can. iTrust Capital allows you to invest in your favorite crypto assets 24/7 with the tax benefits of an IRA. So instead of paying taxes on your crypto gains every year, you can defer taxes till you retire using an iTrust IRA. Or with an iTrust Roth IRA, you can withdraw tax-free at retirement because you're in this for the long haul. Start investing today at itrustcapital.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Today, a strong NIL program is essential to long-term success. Introducing House of Victory, a nonprofit, alumni-led, name, image, and likeness collective. As a proud NIL sponsor of the USC Trojans, we're dedicated to providing student-athletes NIL opportunities and resources.
Supporters can honor the tradition of victory
by ensuring success in our future.
Victory is in the fabric of everything USC. Welcome into the House of Victory.
USC football is brought to you by your local SoCal Audi dealers. And introducing Celaya Tequila, brought to you by USC football legends Matt and Ryan Khalil. Celebrate your story with a homegrown spirit, Celaya Tequila. There's DJ Malski on the screen. He brings the spirit both here at the Coliseum and at the Galen Center. Next on your screen is going to be Cody Kessler with this week's offensive game plan.
Hot route! Red 7, red 7, red 7!
I don't know what red 7 means.
The USC Trojans offensive game plan is brought to you by AM/PM. Too much good stuff.
Last week, USC had 12 different players catch a pass. They also had 8 different players with a carry in the run game and 3 different players throw a pass. A huge part of that is the newly added depth to this USC offense. Now, I want to take a look at the screen here and highlight both some of these incoming freshmen as well as these transfer guys and how Lincoln Riley is incorporating them into this offensive game plan. Now, the first play I want you to look at was actually the first touchdown last week against San Jose State. I want you to notice Dorian Singer here in the slot. Now, as this play continues to run, this is a great play call by Lincoln Riley. This is a too-high beater. You're going to notice the routes on your screen. Mario Williams is at the third spot there, just outside of the tackle. He's going to run up and run a hook route just inside of that hash, and you're going to see Dorian Singer run a tight or a skinny post right behind him, just underneath that safety at the top of your screen. And as this play continues to run, I want you to notice how good of a job Caleb Williams does reading this. Now, those two defenders, if they settle back at all, he knows I can take Mario Williams right here, move on, and let's go to the next play. But if they jump up on the hook route like they do, I have Dorian Singer wide open with all that space to work. Accurate throw by Caleb Williams, and the first touchdown touchdown of the 2023 year. Now, the next player I want to highlight is running back Marshawn Lloyd. This is a great play here by Lincoln Riley. It's a staple in the Lincoln Riley system. As the play continues to run, you're going to notice this is that guard tackle pull across with the running back coming downhill. Great job by the right guard, right tackle, kicking out the defensive end and that Mike linebacker. And then Marshawn Lloyd does a great job of coming downhill and reading his blocks. And as this play continues to run, I want you to notice here, look at all that green space outside, but Marshawn Lloyd, being an experienced back, knows that I'm going to trust my blockers, I'm going to put my foot in the ground, get north and south, and this is why the coaching staff is so excited about him as the rest of this play runs. Look how many tackles he breaks. There's 1, get off me. There's 2, get off me. 3, get off me. And the fourth tackle he breaks picks up a huge gain for USC. That's why this coaching staff and Trojan fans are so excited about Marshawn Lloyd. Now, the next player I want to look at was Sua's best in the game a week ago, is wide receiver Zachariah Branch. Now, this is an RPO look here on the screen. Caleb Williams has 3 options here. He can either hand off the ball, he can pull it and run, or he can pull it and kick it out to Zachariah Branch in the flat. This is a great concept. Now, as this play continues to run, you're going to notice Caleb Williams is reading that safety defender at the top of your screen. As soon as he comes downhill just a little bit, Caleb knows I have a numbers advantage to the field. I have 2 over 3 and all of this green grass to give the ball to Zachariah Branch. And as the play continues to run, 2 other guys I want to highlight that really make this play happen. Mario Williams putting a great block on that Sam linebacker, and another great job by Mekhi Lemon, another freshman, making a huge block on the corner that really springs this play open. And as the play continues to go, get the ball to Zachariah Branch, let him do what he does best, make a guy miss, and finish in the end zone. Great play call there by Lincoln Riley. And then the last newcomer, the last freshman I want to highlight here at the top of your screen is wide receiver Deuce Robinson running a post route. This is a great concept by Lincoln Riley. This is a play action scheme here. You're going to have Darwin Barlow faking to the left side. You have Jude Wolf coming across and kicking out that defensive end on the right side. Miller Moss is actually in at quarterback on this play. This is later in the 4th quarter. And as this play continues to run, this is such a great job by Miller Moss, reading that safety that we have highlighted at the top of your screen, knowing that it is quarters coverage. And when I have a play action, this safety is responsible for his gap in the run game. He comes downhill, and now I have a one-on-one matchup with Deuce Robinson at the top of the screen. Miller Moss recognizes that, and I want you to notice his ball placement. This is a great throw, a 6'6", 225 Deuce Robinson. Throw it up high. Allow him to go get the football. Allow him to take it off the rim, use his height and his athleticism to his advantage. A great catch by him, and as this play finishes up, again, huge first down for the Trojans. Explosive play, and now we have 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. Guys, there's so many other examples, so many other players that are involved that are new to this offense, and I can't wait to see them again today here against Nevada.
And there were a lot of guys involved on the offensive line, and that's one thing that kind of surprised me a little bit, and it's sort of our next level adjustment to the transfer portal, right? You know, last year you see the portal, you can come in, you can change things quickly, but all those guys they brought in last year straight into the starting lineup. Yep. You know, Shane Lee, Eric Gentry, Mekhi Blackman, Jordan Addison, Mario Williams, Travis Dye, Caleb Williams, come on in, take the team over, right? We saw that at Colorado today. Now we're seeing a little different. Now it's come in and compete. And when we look at the offensive line, Michael Tarquin, I thought, it's your show. Not necessarily. He's battling with Mason Murphy, Manuel Pregnon, Jarrett Kingston. You know, these guys have played at other places, you know, real schools, Power 5 schools. They're out there battling with younger players here at USC. It's a little different on the offensive line than I expected.
Yeah, that's what you want. You don't get to see this that often, right? An offensive line going into the season that's not kind of settled yet. You don't really see it that often. You usually want that group to grow together, get together, and you pick your 5 and you roll with them. But here we're having a little battle still, so that's good. You want competition out there. You want guys battling. You want to let everybody on the team know that these spots are up for grab. Go get them. So these players are competing out there. I think you got some good guys up there. You get together. I think Justin Dietich and obviously Jonah Monheim got their spots locked down.
Those spots are unlocked.
Those spots are unlocked, but you got these other guys rotating around. Hey, who wants it? Who's going to go get it? And then I'm sure they'll get another opportunity today.
But kind of like we talked about on defense, maybe some of the penalties and continuity issues we saw on defense, we sort of saw some of the offensive line because there was not that clear 5 that's used to playing together.
Hey, competition can mean one or two things. It can mean that you don't know who you can trust, or it can mean we have guys that are so good we can't decide who to put in the rotation, so we're going to let them all play, which is fine. I think it's the second. I think that we have enough talent. A lot of these transfers are proven and 2 to 3 year starters from other schools. So I like this. This is good because when we get to those games where we need those big bulls up front and guys that we can trust, we'll have our 4 to 5 that are ready to go.
All right, well, it's going to be a huge week at USC next week, and part of that is women's volleyball's home opener. They're back. They're wearing gold. They're going to gold out the Galen Center, get 1 game ticket and 1 gold commemorative tumbler cup for just $15. Visit usctrojans.com/promos to purchase that. So women's volleyball looking to gold out the Galen Center next week. All right, we come back. We're going to run it back with Sua Cravens and Sean Cody. It's our defensive game plan. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Conchas, takis, we need horchata.
AMPM has horchata?
Yeah, let's get some.
Sabor that goes on and on and on. That's Cravenience.
Almost done.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Tungus!
May the right company turn any lake into a great lake. May true friendship be found in hard-to-reach places. May the toughest part of your day be deciding which arm to carry the cooler with. May you ditch malt-based hard seltzers for one with real vodka and real juice. And may high noon not just be a time of day, but the perfect way to enjoy it. High noon, sun's up.
Require another look from the back row by Berra. Fields muscles up. Lead his best offensive assets. McCall was set by Njai, and she's denied. USC sweeps the season series.
In today's college athletics landscape, a strong name, image, and likeness program is an essential pillar to on-field success. House of Victory is an alumni-led nonprofit collective dedicated to providing a competitive edge in the NIL space. To join our alumni community and benefit student-athletes, text HOV to 53555. Back at the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Kind of a weird day. They just showed the sky here in Los Angeles. Nasty. I don't even know how to explain it. Sua's going to explain some defense to us now, though. Here is your defensive game plan.
Everyone knows defense wins championships. And a Trojans victory will require a solid defensive game plan.
Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3. Defense!
This is the USC Trojans defensive game plan. Brought to you by LifeLaw. Injury law made simple.
All right. As I said earlier, I actually wasn't upset about the defensive showing last week, especially from a secondary standpoint. So, I'm going to be positive. But we do have to cover some things that did happen last week. We all saw it. So let's just address the elephant in the room and get it out the way now so we can focus on the game. Last week, there was a lot of chunk plays on film. I talk about it a lot. This is from the first drive. We have a simple QB blitz up the field on third down. We have a spy player that loses his depth and completely loses the quarterback, and they pick up a 3rd and 22. Second play, we have another pass rush with a spy. We'll drop out. But again, we have to be disciplined in our rushing lanes. As Sean said, we have to force the QB back up in the pocket. We cannot lose our outside arms. But last week we did that a lot against a mobile quarterback, and we paid for it. So when you see these blitzes, like on here, we don't even send a blitz. We're playing man, and we're going to play a spy at the sticks. We're going to play a hole and pick up anything that comes across. Our ends have to rush up the field and force the quarterback to step back in to where all of our defenders are. Instead, we lose our outside leverage on our outside hand. We lose contain on the quarterback, and a very simple play that should have been a 3-and-out Now they pick up a first down, and our DBs, I know you fans at home are frustrated because our DBs aren't running up to make the tackle, but they're playing man, and they have to cover at the sticks because if they run up to make the tackle, just like Caleb did to San Jose, the ball's thrown over their head. And it's just simple as this. We actually have a beautiful play drawn up, a dog loop blitz to the field. I don't want to sound like one of the haters Sean was talking about. I'm not in the meeting, so I'll just say this. We have a loop blitz up top. Somebody has to be outside and somebody has to be inside. I don't know if it's Mason Cobb or Tackett Curtis. Either way, we have the perfect blitz drawn up. Instead, we get two guys underneath the running back. We lose contain of the quarterback. Kalen Bullock, one of our best defenders, misses a tackle downfield. And a play that should have been a 7-yard loss for a sack turned into a first down and a defensive holding. So these are things that are so easy to fix. We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Again, it didn't kill us. We won the game. We won by 4 or 5 touchdowns. I'm not upset. That's the best quarterback in the Mountain West Conference supposedly this year. So not going to go too crazy. We just got to clean up some of our mistakes, be disciplined, stay focused through all 4 quarters, and we'll look a little bit more cleaner on film.
Defense is hard, guys. In this day and age of college football, I don't know if you guys are watching scoreboards out there, but defense is a lot harder today to play than ever. It's really favorable to the offense, and it makes it challenging to play good defense. But that being said, it comes down to those little things on defense. It comes down to those small details. It's the mental errors, the ability for guys to not be greedy, right? Sometimes you see guys out there, I want to make the play, steps out of his gap. You see him there in a couple of Sua's plays there where you just lose that one, and that one little small detail ruins a drive, ruins a play, and it just goes on from there. So defense has to be super sound to be elite, and when you're doing those kind of things wrong, it's just not going to be at the level you want it. So they got to clean up those little things in the defense. They may seem like little things, but you add those little plays up, and they turn into a tough defensive performance at the best there. So they got to fix those little things this week, and as the season goes on.
One guy that stood out in the positive for me is Eric Gentry. Talked about him during the broadcast. I thought things changed when he was out on the field. Here's the stats to back it up, and Shotgun Spratling tweeted this out, so credit to him. Eric Gentry played 6 series. 4 of those 6 series were 3-and-outs. One series, they got 1 first down, and then the other series was that 2-minute drive at the end of the first half where they did score a touchdown. So what did you see from Gentry? Sort of a guy that was a little bit forgotten because he had an up and down off season dealing with some health stuff, but it didn't start the game, but made some plays.
He flashes. He's a veteran. I wouldn't expect anything less of him. If he would have started the game, he probably would have led the team in tackling and maybe had an interception how the quarterback was flinging it that last week. So we expect this from him. And to be honest, I wouldn't have minded not seeing him at all last week just to protect him from whatever we're, trying to get him 100% for. So when he's ready, he's going to ball out. We know this. He's come to perform since he's transferred here. So, he's going to do him.
Yeah, the last topic I wanted to get to here, guys, is the corners. They just looked really young out there to me. Thought Christian Roland Wallace would come in and be a veteran presence, and they're sort of using him as a Swiss Army knife. He's going to miss the first half of this game for a suspension from last season. But Damani's just doesn't have the swagger necessarily yet. Just doesn't seem to have the confidence that you would expect from somebody who came in with such a big reputation. Sierra Wright, made some plays, looked a little bit better, but they are really young in that spot.
There needs to be a leader. I don't care, and I'll address it personally. Kalen Bullock, bro, I need you to step up and be the leader in that locker room. This is your unit. They move at how you move, how you carry yourself. So, to me, Damani, 5-star, modern day. You're expected to ball. This is the opportunity for you to go ahead and make a name for yourself. Last week, big play given up here, tackle given up here, but that's just one game. DB's memory, I need everybody in that secondary room to hold themselves to a standard that maybe not even the rest of the defense holds themselves to, because you guys are young. Nobody cares if you make mistakes, but we care if you guys are giving your 100%. And I know you are, but I know what you're also capable of. So, Kalen, get into these guys' ears. Damani, you're a baller. Go be a star. And Sierra, he's been balling. I don't have nothing to say about Sierra. So, come on, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, they're going to get a test here today, but many more tests to come. There are so many good quarterbacks, and we saw now Colorado's got a high-octane offense and a quarterback and some receivers. So maybe even before that middle back half of the schedule, you're going to see Arizona, you're going to see Colorado, you're going to see some offenses here that could put up numbers. Stanford looked pretty good even last night. So this is the crew that's going to be tested. They're going to get beat at times, and so people might get down on them, but they're going to have to make their fair share of plays too for USC to have a big-time season. We got to get you to the Coliseum. USCTrojans.com/tickets is the way. That's where you can find the best and lowest prices for all of your athletics ticketing needs here at Galen Center as well. Soccer, visit usctrojans.com/tickets. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at our impact matchup and talk about an old friend. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Personal injury suits can be scary and full of questions. How can I pay for it? If I've been in an accident, who fixes my car? Who pays my medical bills? And will it all be worth it in the end? LifeLaw simplifies the process, answering your questions and more by providing 24/7 support that's clear and precise, while offering the latest in technology to let you know where your case stands at all times. Good news. LifeLaw. Injury law made simple.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception? First down? Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. What I like most about athletic is that I can worry about my body and still go out and socialize, have fun with friends, and feel fresh and focused still.
Wow, we're crunching tons of polygons here.
What's going on? Where's Regina?
Hi, I'm LaDonna. I invest in Invesco QQQ, a fund that gives me access to NASDAQ 100 innovations like real-time CGI.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, I got it.
Become an agent of innovation with Invesco QQQ. Before investing, carefully read and consider fund investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and more in the prospectus at Invesco.com.
Hey, are you feeling the heat? Or maybe today the humidity? LADWP has rebates up to $225 on new air conditioners to help you beat the heat and save money. We are inside the Coliseum getting you set for USC versus Nevada. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI with Sean Cody, Stuart Cravens, and Cody Kessler. I am Jordan Moore, and here is this week's Impact Matchup.
The Impact Matchup of the Week. Brought to you by Invesco QQQ. Explore with Invesco QQQ. Fight on.
Let's go!
And now the Impact Matchup of the Week.
Well, truth be told, we don't know a ton about Nevada. They lost.
What are you talking about, Jordan?
They lost 10 games in a row last year, and like what everyone does now in college football or college sports, if it's not going well, just hit the portal. And they brought in some old friends in the portal, including our guy Triple J, John Jackson III. We know will be out there today for Nevada. We're not entirely sure what his role is, but I was thinking you guys must have experienced this at some point in your career. What's it like to play against friends, former teammates, that kind of situation, whether it was in the NFL or here in college?
Well, it's good to talk to them before the game, right? See them after the game and wish them for a good season. But when you're out there and you're playing with them, you're trying to knock their head off usually. So I remember a couple battles with Ryan Khalil, maybe in the NFL, a couple battles with just a long list of guys. But when you're out, you start the game, so you say hello, you shake their hand, and then after the game, you wish them a good year. But when it's go time, you're trying to kill him.
Cody single-handedly was trying to get me cut my rookie year, bro. He attacked me the entire first half when he was on the Browns. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
I'll tell you what, though, that was a cool experience, and kind of to Sean's point, Sue and I both played as rookies in the NFL, but we played against Washington at Washington. Sue was obviously starting there, and I was starting a quarterback for Cleveland. Just such a cool experience. And then touching back to college as well, I played against one of my best friends named Jared Norris. He played high school football with me, also went to Utah. But just to have that experience is such a cool feeling. You take it in right away, right? I remember when me and Sue got out there, we kind of looked at each other, gave each other a nod, but then it's go time, right? Then you got to lock in. Oh, yeah. We'll high five after the game and say hi and wish well after that. But when it's playing time and the lights are bright, you got to go out there and perform.
People get so sensitive about the transfer portal, but I'm happy that he gets a chance to shine here. I mean, he just was not getting opportunities here at USC. So, looking forward to seeing him get some balls thrown his way.
Yeah, it's cool that he gets a chance and, he gets to come back to the Coliseum kind of in a cool experience in his last run here. His pops will be up watching him too, so it's great to see him. He's a great kid. I think one of Caleb's best buds. I used to see them all the time together, so I'm sure Caleb will be pulling for him. But in the end, the Trojans are going to go to town and try to probably limit his catches.
And we talked about it. So this is an opportunity for the secondary today against the Nevada passing attack that wasn't very good. We're not expecting a ton. We'll get to some more of that in the scouting report. But if you're the DBs, you're less focused on my friend and more focused on taking some of those opportunities.
Yeah, and I don't expect Grinch to go man every single play, but I think this is a team where you can actually leave a fairly simple game plan out there and say, no, go eat, go be a dog, and go play man all game, and let's see what that looks like. So I'm excited to see what the defensive game plan is in the first quarter.
Yeah, and then back to the John Jackson point, obviously not a huge career here at USC, only 5 catches, 42 yards, but I guarantee you throughout the week he has been giving their receivers a scouting report, right? He went against them in practice in fall camp and spring ball. He went against them on the scout team. He understands what these DBs do well, what they don't do well, and I look for them to attack that here today.
All right, well, my favorite segment last week was when Keely asked you guys to rate yourself, and Cody gave himself a 99, and then social media went to work after that. So let's see what Keely Yore has in store for us today. She joins us live from the sideline. What's going on, Keely?
Hello, guys. Jordan, as you mentioned at the top of the show, we're celebrating 100 years of the Coliseum, and Mr. G had a great question for us this week on the Victory Podcast. He asked, what are your guys' top 3 moments in the Coliseum? It could be football or not football.
Yeah, we could do it as a group here, guys. So why don't you guys each give me your favorite Coliseum, event. I think of a USC football home game, but to Keely's point, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. If you had a great time at a concert in here, you can tell that story if you'd like.
Yeah, I saw the Coldplay concert. No. My favorite moment here in the Coliseum was that win we got against Cal when Cal came in with Aaron Rodgers. It came down to the end, nail biter. I remember this place was going crazy. I remember looking up and seeing the top of the stadium, kids cheering at the top, and that was probably the highlight of my USC career.
I would say my freshman year against Stanford, they were ranked number 5, and I had the pick to set up the game-winning field goal. They stormed the field. That's the first time I think I've seen the Collie get stormed. So
yeah, I agree with Sue on that one. That's probably my favorite. But outside of my playing days, my first memory as a Trojan was coming here when USC played Fresno State, when Reggie Bush had the 500 all-purpose yard game. That was actually my first game ever witnessing USC football and turned me into a Trojan fan.
That was your first game ever?
Ever. Watching at a college game.
Now,
that's
Jordan,
a light flex.
I'm not letting these guys get off too easy.
It was a good one to go to.
That's fire.
Yeah, what do you got, Keely?
I got another question for you guys. It was an Instagram question, but it says, who could do it better, Sean Cody throwing a deep pass or Cody Kessler rushing the passer?
Come on.
Sean has that arm.
I'm great. I could toss the ball.
Let's see it right now.
Give me a football. I'll throw it. I can throw it a ton, but accuracy is terrible.
You sound like the uncle from Napoleon Dynamite right now.
I could chuck
it. We have time to get a
football 50 yards right now.
I could throw it 50 easy. I'm just saying. Do I know where it's going? Probably not. But Cody trying to rush an offensive tackle or a guard, there's just no chance.
Yeah, I'm not setting myself up for
He's 172 pounds soaking wet.
How many LBs are you down from your playing days?
I'll tell you what, I'm probably down to like 185 right now. 190.
What'd you play at?
I played around my sophomore year when I put on the freshman 15.
I lived with you. Don't lie, bro. You was getting a lot of pizza boxes stacking up.
I got up to about 230 at one point, but my playing days in the NFL, I was about 215, 220.
You can bend that corner, get that shoulder, drop that shoulder.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, if you have me going up against Jonah Monheim or playing in the center of the defense, going against Justin Dietich, there's no chance.
It's hard to rush
with Sean on this.
It's hard to rush with a knee brace. Yeah. Real hard to rush with.
Will you let the knee brace go? I didn't wear. In my defense, I did not wear one in the league, so I got rid of the knee brace days when I got to the NFL.
That's a fine. That's why.
Yeah.
Keely, thank you as always.
Thanks,
we will
guys.
be back in a little bit to check in on the sideline with you again. When we come back, though, we're going to take a closer look. We're going to learn something about the Nevada Wolfpack. That's next. It's the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's been a phenomenal year. You go to New Year's Six Bowl, you have one of the best turnarounds in school and NCAA football history as a team. And the reality is we lost some games as a team too.
Stunned Trojan fans.
But that does not change that we're here right now. we know what we got to do. So if you get a chance to come along for the ride, I'd highly suggest it.
Trojan Tailgate Show team, assemble!
And that's why T Swift is a legend.
Hello and welcome to the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
Sometimes faster isn't always better. Like when you're getting a tattoo. Or saying I love you on the first date. Or putting together certain Swedish furniture.
But when it comes to getting in and out of the airport, faster is always better. And at Ontario International Airport, you can have a stress-free experience from the curb to the gate.
It's the least we can do.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Hey, Trojan fans, did you know the Ralph's app gives you easy access to weekly sales and personalized coupons, and you can earn fuel points too? Check out the app today and save while you cheer us on to another great season. Ralph's, proud partner of USC Athletics. Back in the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. It's a great day, but a dry one, and you know what? It beats the heck out of it being 100 degrees, which is what I was worried about today. I'm Jordan Moore. That's Sean Cody. He never likes it when it's 100 degrees.
Dry. I wouldn't say it's dry.
Well, it is dry in the sense it is not currently
swamp
raining.
in here.
That is Sua. He's always cool no matter what the temperature. And Cody Kessler at the other end of the show here. It's time now to talk about the scouting report.
It's time for the Scouting Report, brought to you by Stone Brewing, proud partner of USC Athletics. Now, we're going to help you get to know today's opposing team.
Yeah, let's get to know the Wolfpack. As we mentioned, a lot of transfers have come in. Second-year coach Ken Wilson. This is a program that had it going for a little bit, but last year took a major step back, going 2-10, Sean.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty last year for Nevada. They had to change it up. They had to bring in a lot of transfer portal guys. They got one in the quarterback, Brandon Lewis, who's come from Colorado, running back, and Sean Dollars from Oregon. So just you go down the list, it's just all transfers. I'm trying to watch film on. I'm like, this guy wasn't here. This guy's not here.
Yep.
It's like it's trying to piece together a puzzle. But that's usually how every season starts. They're going to find their group and see how it goes. But yeah, rough year last year for Ken Wilson. They're trying to figure it out here, and a tough start to the season here. We're trying to figure it out in the Coliseum.
Anyone stand out to you, Sua, as you look at the Nevada offense?
Sean Dollars. I actually liked him at Oregon. I thought that he just kind of got lost in the shuffle full of talent. Wasn't really a spot for him at the time, but I think he's a really good running back, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a healthy dose of him today and test that USC front seven.
Cody, tell us about the quarterback. We saw Brendan Lewis a couple years ago at Colorado. You know, he's a good athlete. He struggles to be accurate as a passer. At least that's what we saw back then. We'll see how much he has improved here today.
Yeah, Brendan Lewis last year was the starter for Colorado, then got benched in the TCU game, decided to transfer pretty early on. But I did go back and watch one of his better games, which was against Oregon his freshman year when they played at Oregon, and Oregon was ranked number 7 in the country. Played well, was 25 of 33, 224 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. I think he's got a very good arm when he's comfortable. He's a very accurate passer when he's comfortable, but when they gets to rush him and things start closing down and that pocket collapses, he will force some throws and give the defense an opportunity to make some plays on it. So I would like to see some interceptions today from our secondary here at USC.
Defensively, Sean, what do you see from the Wolfpack?
Well, they got a talented freshman last year, Drew Watts. Defense wasn't good, and the numbers don't look very well. You look at a lot of their rankings. It was a tough year defensively, but I thought the freshman Drew Watts last year, he put a ton of tackles together. Looked like he might be like an All-American candidate on a couple different angles. So he gets out there, he runs around. You'll see him in a little bit of Trey Weed as a nickel back there. He can make some plays too. Up front, they didn't really have a good rush last year. So some things that the Trojans can expose today. I look forward to watching them do that. But got some couple bright spots on that defense, Jordan.
So on paper, this is a worse opponent than last week's opponent, just to put it in context for people. And so when we do start talking about how USC will approach it, I think the expectation is it may be a little bit like last week, where we let some of these competitions just play out for one more week, or at the very least, just a lot of different guys playing.
If I could pick Zachariah Branch again, I would. It's going to be the same type of game. We're going to – actually, I know I didn't pick him, but Michael Jackson –
yeah, he did not play last week.
No, I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. I'm just trying to, maybe throw a hint to somebody who might need it because, But, Mike Jack, he's going to play today. So I would expect somebody like him to have a big game today because he's going to play with the 1s, 2s, and 3s.
Yeah, he did not play last week, but is expected to play this week. Speaking of Zachariah Branch, we'll see if he's featured in Rate That Drip because I saw his drip.
Yes, he is.
It's pretty good. But first, let's go to our intro here. It's time to Rate That Drip.
Oh, man.
Your Trojans are in the building.
Caleb, over here, Caleb.
And it's time to Rate That Drip. Presented by Zern LK.
Oh, starting with the coach. I liked his fit last week.
Nice and clean. Nice and clean. I'm not about to say nothing about Boss Man. You already know the clean fit.
Doesn't come in a full suit. He's just going sort of button down with the Nikes. It's a more casual. Same thing.
Probably smells like fresh linen. That's what I'm thinking.
Untucked.
There he is. That's Zachariah Branch right there.
He came with the breastplate exposed. He was one misstep from a nip slip. He got this is extra sexy drip, 2 touchdown freshman All-American drip. He came up to me in the tunnel. Me and Cody, he said he's having 2 more today. So we gonna see. But that's the extra sexy drip from my boy.
You know what I said? I wanted to see a little bit more swag from Damani. That's what I'm looking for. Zachariah, he just walked in the building with swag, man. He is ready to go. Caleb Williams, same thing last year.
Hey,
he knows this is his show.
Today is a good day. That's what that's reminding me of. I like that fit right there.
Caleb's rocking a little flannel. That's Brendan Rice as well. And again, chest open seems to be the look today.
Yeah, is that the new look?
Sexy drip is in. I'm guessing. No, don't. Okay. Please don't.
Okay.
My God. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's Romello Height rocking the pink kicks.
Hold on. What are those?
Is that a Grinch sweater? Who we got here?
No way. That's a real Birkin, bro. I'm calling
Zion
Cap.
Branch.
I'm calling Cap. Unless Zach bought it, there ain't no way. That's
Zion
a one-on-one.
Branch rolling. Oh, my God, it's Sean Cody.
No.
Sean with double hoop earrings in high school. Look at that hair,
How much hair product did you have to use to get that look right?
I use a little bit less now, but the hoop earrings were tough, and that pencil thin goatee was just. It took me about 30 minutes to get that thing just right with the razor blade. Get that thing that half stash going.
Was that the high school photos for football?
That was high school. That was, I probably spent about an hour getting ready for that.
Did you use Crystal Ice?
I still got the hoop earrings. I'm only one hoop guy right now. I don't know 2 hoop earrings. I don't know.
You know, I never understood the 84 until seeing that picture. You look like a tight end in that picture.
I was a tight end.
You were a pretty boy tight end.
18 touchdowns my senior year.
You didn't even want nothing to do with tackling somebody in that picture. That guy's looking to celebrate in the end zone.
That guy was coming off the edge. That wasn't D-tackle, Sean Cody. That was a defensive end, tight end body. Look at that thing.
Look at that. You're rocking like a Buffalo Bills.
Pre-SC tattoo.
Your high school's got sort of a Bills vibe on the jersey.
Are those jorts?
Los Altos High School, baby.
Yes,
represent.
Are those jorts?
Yeah, those are
shredded bottoms.
I'm a jort advocate. Yeah.
Did you see that picture the other day? Nick Young came back in the alumni game, Swaggy P in the Hoops alumni game, and played in jorts.
Oh, I did see that. I can't appreciate a good pair of jorts.
You were doing it back in the day.
Oh, come on.
You know, who knew?
Trendsetter.
That was it. That was Rate That Drip. When we come back, we're going to talk more ball. Get back to a little national picture. Time for the guys to make some CFP predictions. Let's see if Sua still has the magic touch this week. This is the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
Did I mention Smart Stop Self-Storage has state-of-the-art security systems operating 24 hours a day? So we see everything. Everything.
Our idea of the perfect day? You, your best friend,
Yeah, buddy. You ready to run?
and Quattro all-wheel drive. Own the elements in the Audi Q5.
Let's go, buddy.
The 22-year-old senior was found in a campus residence of an apparent suicide this semester.
He hid the depth of his pain and chose a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
A lot of my performance dictated my mental health and just like my mental well-being.
Depression can affect anybody. It does not discriminate.
I just want to make talking about mental health normal.
No one gets you closer to college football than SiriusXM. Download the SiriusXM app and take your USC Trojans with you all season long. Tune in to SiriusXM Pac-12 Radio for news, analysis, and more straight from your phone. No car required. Watching the guys warm up here. We're live on the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Stuart Cravens, and Cody Kessler. And now, our Cardinal and Gold Report.
It's time for the Cardinal and Gold Report.
Cardinal and Gold!
Presented by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC football.
All right, taking a look at a little bit of a national perspective here as college football really began this week. There were only 2 top 25 teams in action last week. One of them was us, both won. But as we take a look at the first AP Top 25 of the season, brought to you by Modelo. Some familiar names at the top, guys. USC sitting there in the 6th spot. What's your take, Sean, when you see like a preseason ranking for your team, like USC? Is 6 sort of where you want to be? Do you just want to be 1? Or where do you like your team to be?
Jordan, you know my take on this, man. This is not me. I don't worry about these preseason rankings. I think you got to be high to start the season in order to get a chance into the playoffs. This is for somebody else to worry about. I want to see the product on the field before I judge these guys. At 6 is great. I think we have a chance to get in the playoffs, right? Sua at that position?
I think if you went out, you're going to the playoffs.
All right.
Well, that's for sure. If you went out, you got to feel good about it.
But if you start lower, right, then you're in trouble, then you can't get in?
It's going to be hard to win out, though, because when you do look at the top 25, what stands out to me is that the Trojans have 4 opponents in the top 15, and the Pac-12 has 5 of the top 18. Sounds like a pretty good league. Maybe they should have kept it together. Apparently not. But as it stands, the schedule is going to be difficult for USC, Sua, when you look at that top 25.
Yeah, and I don't know how people have this misconception like USC has this easy schedule. But again, as Jordan said, 5 of the top 18 teams are on the West Coast, and we have to go through at least 4 of them to get to our destination. So it's going to be tough, and it's backloaded. We play all these teams in succession. Like we play, maybe our last 5 weeks are against those top 15 opponents. So a lot to take in for USC. If they can make it out clean, it doesn't matter where we're ranked. They could be ranked 20th right now if we go undefeated with that schedule.
On the positive side, with the schedule too, when you do play good teams, they do give you 1. So maybe you don't have to go 12-0. Maybe you can go 11-1, make the playoff. But maybe the league cannibalizes itself because it certainly does look good. Utah manhandled Florida on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was a great game by Utah. Came out and started fast. But to Sua's point, yeah, it is. And I saw that too. Some people saying USC didn't have a tough schedule. Not only do we have tough opponents, but the way that it works out with going 3 games, then having a bye, then having to go 9 straight, and those last 4 or 5 games are going to be tough.
I don't
Oregon,
see
Washington,
Austin,
Notre
Pete,
Dame,
and Citadel on the schedule.
Yeah, and yes, there are those first 2 games, those warm-up games, those preseason games, if you will, against San Jose State and Nevada. Stanford looked good last night, so that's going to be a tough opponent next week. But then having that bye, and the biggest part with that too is staying healthy that deep into the season. You don't have a bye midway through after game 6 or 7 where guys can get back and get ready for the second half. You're going 9 straight, and you got to perform in those 9 games.
All right, when we look at the college football playoff and your expectations this season, it always sort of starts with the usual suspects, as I said, at the top, because everyone sort of goes off last year. But what stands out to me, guys, new quarterbacks at Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama. So while those teams are right up there at the top now, going to be hard for them to hang there unless those guys are big time. What do you see in terms of CFP predictions, Sua?
The CFP was made with two SEC teams automatically locked in it. So I'm going to put Georgia at 1 and then Bama at 3 because I'm thinking, I know they play earlier in the year, but if whoever wins that game loses the conference championship, they both kind of lock themselves in it if they both have one loss at the end of the year. So they'll be my top 1 and 3 teams. And then I think Ohio State takes the gauntlet back from Michigan, and then USC comes in at 4. I think that's how it'll play out based on everybody else in the top 10.
Anyone stand out to you, Sean, that Sua didn't mention? Did you like this season?
I have to go down the list here. What do we got, Jordan?
This is what most people do before the show.
night before.
Not on the show, before the show. Do you need us to put the graphic back up for you?
I got a pen.
You have it with pictures in front of you. They didn't even make you read it.
There's ketchup sauce. Oh, no, that's a stain.
I got the Trojans over Nevada today. Here we go.
Yeah, I kind of like Clemson this year, Cody. They went out and got Lincoln Riley's brother to come in and be the offensive coordinator. Maybe a little life back in them. They've been kind of hanging quiet the last couple years after that great run.
Yeah, I actually had them as a surprise team. I had Penn State, Clemson, and Tennessee teams that have a chance to get in. But for my top 4, I went 1 Georgia, 2 Michigan, 3 USC, and 4 Ohio State. I think Georgia's a plug-and-go system there at quarterback. Obviously, Stetson Bennett played well, but only had 27 touchdowns, 7 picks last year, and the year before that, 29 and 7. Michigan brings back J.J. McCarthy, also brings back Blake Corum. I think they always have a great defense there as well. And then USC, I do have them losing 1 game later on down the season. I would love to say we go 13-0, but I think that would be a good situation for a wake-up call. Then we come back and win the Pac-12 championship, and then I have Ohio State at 4, losing that last game to Michigan, not making it to the Big Ten championship, but still getting in at 11-1.
If the Trojans had gone 12-1 last season, they would have been a 3 seed and made it in the playoff easily, and that was with an easier schedule than what they have this year. So I do think 12-1 would be plenty good for the Trojans, but they got a lot of work to do to get to that. Hey, there's Tony Baselli, guys. Man, there's an offensive lineman. Let's throw him in at left tackle today. One of the GOATs in the building. Speaking of GOATs, we've got one next. Cheryl Miller is about to join the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI.
Rediscover your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino, where you can be an impact player, a clutch hitter, or a wild card. No matter what your game is, the excitement and relaxation you're looking for is here. So get back to the fun and play your perfect combination at Pechanga Resort Casino.
You've earned this, so hold it up high. You clock in for happy hours and holidays, late nights, and regulars. When others go to play, you go to work. Because you don't just carry kegs, you carry the night. You are a fighter, and this is your reward. Modelo, the mark of a fighter.
Today, a strong NIL program is essential to long-term success. Introducing House of Victory, a nonprofit, alumni-led, name, image, and likeness collective. As a proud NIL sponsor of the USC Trojans, we're dedicated to providing student-athletes NIL opportunities and resources.
Supporters can honor the tradition of victory
by ensuring success in our future.
Victory is in the fabric of everything USC. Welcome into the House of Victory.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception, first down, just a nice solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Want the inside scoop on this game and all things Trojans? Be sure to sign up for the 3 Torches presented by Smart & Final. It's a free newsletter that'll hit your email inbox 3 times a week with game info, player insights, and more. Go to usctrojans.com/3torches and sign up. I can hear my voice inside the Coliseum. That's how you know we're up here on the video board. Scan that QR code and join the show because we've got a legend in the building.
Hey!
Cheryl Miller, the greatest to ever do it, the greatest hooper in USC history, man or woman. Welcome to the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
I appreciate this, gentlemen. This is nice. I could get used to this set. I got Pretty Boy to my left.
We all light-skinned together.
I got Big Country to my right. I'm digging this.
It didn't take you long to figure Sue out. You were right up here and right into it. When was the last time you were in the Coliseum? That's what I want to know.
Wow, the last time I was in the Coliseum, actually, guys, 84.
Oh my!
And that was during the Olympic Games.
So,
the Olympic Games, where yes. That
so then I guess the next question is, what's your take on the renovations, the stands? What do we got? What do you got? What does it look like?
Awesome. There's grass, or no, this turf now. Yeah. Back in the day,
the track is gone. The track is gone.
The track is gone. More room, spacious. I like this. You guys have done well.
I probably will be the only one up here that doesn't ask you anything football related.
Why is that?
Because I like to actually ask questions I want to know. Like, who cares about what everybody else is thinking?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Shoot first.
So now that we finally have some basketball validity up here.
Okay.
I need to know your stance on this. Who is the GOAT?
As far as what?
The NBA.
In the NBA?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Seriously? All right, give me 3 players. You give me your top 3 guys.
You go. You give us your Mount Rushmore.
No, give me.
We don't know nothing about that ball.
Everybody's got.
I'll go Magic. I was a Magic guy growing up.
I like Magic. All right, who else?
I got Kobe.
You got.
Always been Kobe.
Yeah. You?
Bron.
Bron?
Yeah, Bron.
I'm a Michael guy. I mean, you guys aren't even going to talk about Michael Jordan.
Then you guys got Mount Rushmore right now. The only thing missing is a female, baby.
Yes, there it is.
There
it is.
Hey, he used to play point guard.
I believe that.
1-on-1 right now.
Wait, him?
Yeah, him.
No, I
1-on-1.
Why you want to throw him
because he always likes to throw his basketball stats in my face.
Don't the max prep stats.
I averaged 35 and 12.
What was the stats? Give me your stat line.
I averaged 29.
On a good day.
No, I averaged 29 my junior year. 29 and 8.
Serious?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I appreciate it.
That's impressive.
Thank you.
I like that.
Is the hooping better in Bakersfield or Riverside?
Okay, George. We don't need to.
Because you are the pride of Riverside.
Wait, but both of them are Mayberry. All right, they're both Mayberry.
It is a long way from
There's
here.
nobody out there, so you can't help but be the best.
Yeah.
Bucket on the telephone pole.
Exactly. That's it, right?
Cheryl, we got the highlights going up there for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. We had television back then.
It was
Look
in
at
color,
that jumper.
too.
It was in color.
Travel.
Wasn't black and white. That's cool. That's cool.
Travel, double.
Now, travel. Come on now.
Cheryl, tell me about Juju Watkins, because I think everyone's fired up about this USC women's basketball season. We brought in the number 1 player in the country. You've gotten a chance to meet Juju.
Yes.
You were at practice the other day. How special can she be?
Very special. It was interesting. I was talking to Coach Burns, and she says she's the combination of myself, Tarazi, and there was one more, Maya Moore.
Not bad.
Wow.
That'll work.
Now, for her to make that comparison says a lot about Juju. And the young woman has her head on straight.
Sure, I grew up watching basketball, and I'd see you on the TV every weekend. You were a staple in my household. What are you up to now? What do you got going? Are you coaching? What's the life of Cheryl Miller now?
And let's a disclaimer out there: that coaching stuff will kill you. that is not for the faint of heart. But no, right now I am just looking at elevating women's basketball, talking about equality and quantity, equity and stuff. So I'm working on a foundation, breaking barriers for all. So
ambassador.
That's what we're doing. I'm trying to do that, gentlemen. But you know what the wonderful thing is? We need more men like you celebrating women athletics and supporting us.
No doubt.
We're going to see you on campus anytime. No, that's completely brand new.
Wait, it's completely new.
Yeah, it doesn't even look.
But you still have my dorm. If it's still
one?
EVK.
Where
are you?
Right off of Exposition. EVK, where Felix the Cat is, the dealership.
Yeah,
that's
I thought that was a Freebird.
You know where
Not anymore.
See, you're both dating
yourself. You're both dating yourself.
Tell Youngblood. He don't know.
He doesn't know.
He don't know.
But the growth of women's basketball has been incredible. The ratings at the championship game and the Final Four pulled last year, and it feels like it's time to get that here at USC back again, because we're seeing it under Lindsey Gottlieb, the players they're bringing in.
It's a matter of time.
It's a matter of time.
It really is, and I just hope they enjoy the journey and not get caught up in the hype. Just like our football team, I'm telling you, they're gonna be there. Our men are going to be there.
All right, you going to get them fired up today?
Absolutely.
All right, stretch it out. Cheryl Miller will be leading the Trojans out of the tunnel, and you can actually stay right here after the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. It doesn't cut to black. It actually stays all the way through right to kickoff. So you get to see Cheryl Miller lead the team out. Thank you so much for joining. It's great to have you back in the house. It's been way too long. A true legend in our midst. Thank you so much. Back with more of the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI. Scan that QR code and join the show. Back with more next.
Conchas, takis, we need horchata.
AM/PM has horchata?
Yeah, let's get some.
Sabor that goes on and on and on. That's Cravenience.
Almost done.
AM/PM, too much good stuff.
Tungus!
Not gonna believe this, girl.
Dad! Dad, have you seen this?
I did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
Opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
It's time for the Student Veteran Interview, brought to you by IBEW 11, NECA, and Pipe Trades. Together, these groups proudly support USC. Fight on!
It's time for this week's Student Vet Interview, and I've got Chai Chet here, who served as a vehicle mechanic in the U.S. Air Force. Chai, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your service. What did you do? Take us through it.
So, yeah, I spent 4 years in the Air Force working as a mechanic. Most of my time was spent in Joint Base Lewis McChord up in Washington State. Had the opportunity to go to Qatar for a small deployment and met lots of cool people and opportunities to see the world.
And now you're attending the USC Viterbi School of Engineering, getting a degree in computer science and business administration. What's your plan for that?
The plan as of right now, which things always change, but the plan is to go into venture capital in the near future.
All right, you're going to be down on the field with us today for USC Nevada Game 2. What's your prediction?
100% USC will win by 30 plus points easily.
All right. I love to see it. Chai's ready for the Trojans to light up the Coliseum scoreboard again. Again, thank you for your service and thanks for joining us today. USC's Student Vet Interview with Chai Chet. The sun's out at the Coliseum. How about that? It's been gray all day, but now that we're getting closer to kickoff, less than an hour to go here before USC Nevada, the sun is shining at the Coli. Back in the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI, here's Keely Orr with the head coach, Lincoln Riley.
Who's going to teach you how to play football?
My football coach?
Let's go!
This is your Prescription to Win, brought to you by USC Pharmacy, proud partner of USC Athletics. USC Pharmacy is operated by the USC Man School. Learn more at uscpharmacies.usc.edu. And now, here is head coach Lincoln Riley.
I'm Keely Orr here with head coach Lincoln Riley for your Prescription to Win interview. Coach, so many Trojans earned valuable game reps on Saturday. What did you learn about your team?
Yeah, it was a great first look, I think, for all of us at the individual guys, whether it's returning players, how much have they improved? Obviously, a lot of newcomers, what's their first action like as a USC Trojan? And then starting to see the groups and the team together. There was a lot of good. There's so much to be excited about in terms of potential. But leaving the first game as expected, a lot of work to do, a lot of things that we need to build in terms of continuity in the groups. We've really challenged everybody this week about how can we really come together and look more and more like the well-oiled machine, right? The groups where you go out there and all 11 guys are completely in sync and they're playing well off of one another. And that's been a big focus point here through the week and expect to see more here this weekend.
How do you balance that chemistry versus rotation that you've done so far?
Yeah, I think, early for us, especially with this roster and just the situation we're in, we wanted to play a lot of guys early. You want to get chemistry, but you want to make sure it's the right group, right? And you want to make sure it's the best players and the most reliable players. And fall camp, you have an idea, but you don't always know exactly who that is until you start playing. And it's going to evolve and change as the season goes on. So to get that experience with guys, for them, for us as coaches to get that evaluation, to be able to go to so many of these players and say, all right, look, here's the game tape now. Here's what you did well. Here's where we need you to improve. It's very valuable, and I think it worked out in a great way.
Something that you mentioned before is competitive depth. There's so much this year, which means that, as you mentioned, the margins are so thin when it comes to competition. How has your team responded to the elevated competition this season?
I think they've responded well. We've been very transparent with them from the beginning that for those of you that were here before, this is going to feel a little different, right? There are a few more good players on this roster. There is more competition among these spots, and you're going to have to step your game up. But I think you also talk to them that this is part of the evolution of a program. Like, this is part of, if you want to win championships and you want to, play in those big games and have a chance to be there in the end, like, this is what it feels like. This is the process that you've got to go through. And I think so far our guys have embraced it. I mean, there's been a lot of positive signs. There's going to be some tense moments with it. That's just competition. And we want people here at USC that embrace competition.
Obviously, you want your team to grow each week. What does taking the next step look like in game 2?
Yeah, I think playing a little bit cleaner, a little bit, again, just a little more cohesive as the units. There's a lot of guys that did things well, but they've got to be completely in sync with everybody else on the field. And when you watch it, you can just tell those gaps are small, but we got to close those gaps, and on all three sides. But I think play with excitement the whole way through, and I think it'll be important for us, especially to. After last game, I know one big focus point will be, closing these halves well. That'll be a huge point. Obviously, it was important in the game the other day. So, yeah, I mean, and then I think you're looking at every player on the roster taking that natural step that you would expect. You got to go earn it, but taking that step to a much cleaner overall game here from the game number 2.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck.
All right, thank you.
Jordan, back to you.
Back live inside the Coliseum. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody, Sue Cravens, Cody Kessler, and joined in the sideline again by Keely Yore. And Keely, we were going to talk about some other things, but we've got some late-breaking injury news, and that's why we've got you out there. So tell us what's up.
Yeah, this was unexpected, Jordan. We saw the initial warm-ups for USC's linebackers, and both Eric Gentry and Mason Cobb were not dressed out. Now, the linebackers do need to come out in full pads and start their warm-ups, and that hasn't happened yet. But so far, it looks like we're going to expect Mason Cobb and Eric Gentry to not be out there today, which I would assume then we'll see Tackett Curtis get his second start today, and then maybe see more of Rajon Davis. We don't know the health status for Shane Lee. He did play on special teams last game, but we didn't see him out there at inside linebacker.
Was he out there warming up? Did he look like he was a full go?
He was, but he also did that last week, and we didn't see him at inside linebacker. So we'll see. I mean, maybe this might force their hand to play Shane Lee more than they expect to, just because they have both Mason Cobb and Eric Gentry out. But that's something we weren't expecting. I mean, head coach Lincoln Riley was praising Eric Gentry and saying that he was going to get more playing time going forward on Thursday. So this was something we weren't expecting.
Otherwise, we have up there Separation Saturday. So many guys played last week. That probably ends after this week, Keely. So what positions, what do you have your eye on in terms of all these competitions that we saw last week and likely again this week?
Now, I initially was going to say inside linebacker, but we understand why that's going to be different this week. But the one we're going to watch for sure is offensive line. And offensive line coach Josh Henson spoke on Wednesday and compared the competition battle to a prize fight. He said, everyone's taking body blows, but we need someone to take that knockout hit. So it looks like we're going to expect more rotation today with the offensive line, but it seems like they want those 5 guys to make it very clear that they need to start on Saturdays.
All right, thanks so much, Keely. Guys, that's some pretty big news. We talked so much about Mason Cobb last week. We'd already sort of praised Eric Gentry. The guy I see huge opportunity flashing in a sign today is Rajon Davis.
Yeah, number 9. We saw him flash last year at the end of the season. He had a couple tackles out there at the end of the year, right? So number 9 is going to get his opportunities to make some plays out there with those guys down. Well, we'll be watching that. I think the offensive line will be. I think that's what I'll be watching when it comes out. How they rotating? Are they starting to figure out? Are they starting to solidify that group? Because that's going to be huge moving forward in the season.
Go make a name for yourself, Rajon. This is the time. Gotta make sure that it's hard for next week when we're talking about Stanford, when they say we need heavy run support, who to put in there, make sure your name's being mentioned. And then on top of this, Tackett Curtis is another opportunity for you to get better, for you to start, for you to get this experience in, because as the weeks go on, the game's going to move a lot faster with the teams as they get better, so you need to be ready for that. You're going to be a vital part of this defense, so take today as another tool to measure where you are mentally.
If it's Tackett and Rajon in there together, they are very young in the middle of that defense, so that'll be interesting to see if they maybe lean on Shane Lee if he's a full go today, just for his brain, his experience, his leadership, because those other guys would leave USC very young in the inside of their defense. Certainly something to watch today. But the reason y'all tune in, the best in the game picks, right? That's coming up next. It's the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI.
I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and there's no place I'd rather be. I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere, and time don't matter to me, 'cause I'm 1,000 miles from nowhere.
Being the best takes hard work. It takes early mornings, planning, precision, sweat, sacrifice, and teamwork. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in their game. Old Dominion Freight Line, helping the world keep promises.
One final segment of the Trojan Tailgate Show presented by YETI with Sean Cody, Sue Cravens, and Cody Kessler. I am Jordan Moore, and welcome inside the Coliseum as it's almost time for USC versus Nevada. The teams, the Trojans, are right behind us, getting huddled up and taking the field in full pads. And as Keely Orr just said, Mason Cobb and Eric Gentry behind the pack in street clothes. So you will not see them here today. You will see this next group of players. It's time for this week's Best in the Game picks.
The Best in the Game is brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of USC Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Sua, congratulations, man. 1-0, led the way, wasn't even close. We want to go fan vote, and there was no fan vote to be had this week. It was all Sua and his guy, Zachariah Branch. But now you did what you accused Cody of. You took USC's #1 receiver out of pocket for the rest of the season. I guess you got your win out of it. So
Whoa, I accused Cody of using a starter.
Well, now you've used the starter is what I'm saying.
Zach was not, hey, listen, I knew it was going to be that game. Nobody picked him this game. I don't know why. That was a free dub right there.
Now we know we have all season with him, so we're slow playing you. It's a marathon, not a sprint here.
Call it what you want. Hey, 1-0, you're as good as your last week. And there's only one dub up here, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it going.
No, it's not your turn yet. It is not your turn. We have to go in order here. Let's start with Keely's
It's not
pick.
golf honors?
No, this is not golf honors. Who did Keely have this week? Keely had Brendan Rice, so she's dipping into, that receiver pool as well. Rice got into the end zone last week, but had maybe a smaller role than some expected. And now Cody Kessler, your stage.
Yeah, I'm going with Austin Jones this week. 6 carries last week, had 2 touchdowns, over 9 yards a carry. I expect him to have another big day on the ground today against this Nevada defense that gave up over 160 yards rushing a game a year ago.
RB1. He just took RB1 in the second game of the season.
Get his touches early, get a couple touchdowns, get him out.
You don't learn. I'm going to go with Dorian. I'm going to take a starter because he's going to score 2 early touchdowns, I think, in the first half and then not play for the rest of the game. But it's going to be impact touchdowns. It's going to be like Jordan Addison type, 45-yard TD over the head top. Another week or so of being right type of pick.
Let me tell you how invested Sean is in this week's pick. Not only did he cheer his pick onto the field, but then reached out to make sure he got a high five to motivate his pick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my pick is Miller Moss, quarterback Miller Moss. I think he's going to have a big game. I think Caleb will come out, strike early. We're going to get a second half full of Miller Moss. And Miller Moss, he looked great running down that tunnel, Jordan. He looked fantastic. I shook his hand. He feels confident, says today's his day. He said, Sean, today's my day. Good decision, Miller Moss.
I'm going to go with Mario Williams, a quiet opening week for number 4, a guy that some people think could be USC number 1. He's got a big Powerade billboard up around campus. So I'm going with Mario Williams. Okay, remember, you can stay right here. You can watch the team run out of the tunnel. You watch the band perform. You could then stay on YouTube and watch the Audi booth cam, and then you can watch or listen to Sua and Jason on the post-game show. Thank you to our great crew for putting us on here today. Drew DeHart, Gia Lares, Rick Cutler, Ben Conroy, and everybody behind the scenes. Thank you for listening. It's game time now at the Coliseum. USC versus Nevada is next.
The Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by YETI. We make the gear that helps you stay out longer, travel farther, and live harder. And by Pechanga Resort Casino, proud partner of USC Athletics.
Williams is going to throw it long. Does. Caught at the 20. Stays on her feet. He'll go all the way. One play, 75 yards. Touchdown, USC.
The Trojan Tailgate Show was also brought to you by
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video board for an important announcement about stadium emergency procedures. In the unlikely event of an emergency, you may be directed or required to evacuate. Please follow instructions and proceed in an orderly fashion to the nearest exit. Please note that this exit may be either above or below your seating location. If the nearest exit is below your seat location and is the field itself, you should proceed on to the Coliseum field and exit through either the Coliseum tunnel to the west or the peristyle end to the east. The peristyle steps are available for emergency exiting. If the closest exit is above your seating location, please proceed to the nearest exit tunnel. If exiting through one of the upper tunnels, please then access the nearest staircase to street level. Do not walk along the upper concourse. Once outside the seating area, vacate the Coliseum immediately via the nearest gate. Guests seated in the 200 and 300 levels of the Scholarship Club Tower will locate emergency exit stairs at each end and center of the building. Please exit to the concourse level and immediately proceed outside to the nearest gate. Guests seated on the 400, 500, 600, and 700 levels of the Scholarship Club Tower access emergency exit stairs at each end of the building and proceed to the upper concourse. Please then access the nearest staircase to street level and exit the nearest gate. Please proceed as directed in a calm, orderly fashion. We thank you for your attention. USC has assigned a high priority to assuring all athletic events are conducted in a safe and enjoyable atmosphere. In compliance with the Trojan Spirit Code, please respect all fans in attendance. For immediate assistance during the game, please speak with the closest usher or security personnel. To report any incidents of fan misconduct, please call the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum Fan Behavior Hotline. That number is 213-263-4007. Or you can text Coliseum with your seat location and a description of the situation to 213-263-4007. Again, that number 213-263-4007. We do thank you for your cooperation and hope you enjoy the game. Fans, be sure to sign into the USC network Fight On for faster service. Fans, snap a selfie, tag it with hashtag USC Selfie, and you just might see yourself up on the video board during today's game. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at USC_athletics. And now let's take it down to our DJ booth as it's time to feed the beast with Monster Energy and DJ Molsky.
Trojan fans, what's up? We need you loud today. How you feeling? Are you feeling like getting a win today? That's right. Today, we need you loud and proud. I'm in friendly neighborhood DJ Molsky. I'll be here all game long. All presented by Monster. We need you loud and proud. Now, let me know, what section is going to be the loud section? What section is going to be the... We're almost there, getting stressed and ready, all right? We need you loud and proud, all presented by Monster Energy. We're going to have a whole lot of fun all game long. That's right. If you're ready, somebody make some noise.
Fans attending Pac-12 athletic events, including competitions and ancillary activities, are expected to act in line with the conference's value-based goals, including
protecting the well-being of student athletes, promoting a culture of diversity, equity, belonging, and inclusivity,
and adhering to the highest standards of ethical conduct and sportsmanship.
Thanks, fans. Now let's all enjoy the game.
Fight on.
This season will be like no other, and the conference that exemplifies champions marks a legacy moment in the city that defines extraordinary. The 2023 Pac-12 Football Championship Game, Friday, December 1st. The top two teams in the conference leave it all on the field, live at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Secure your seat now. Visit pac-12.com/tickets today.
Did it.
Wells Fargo helps thousands of students go to college.
He got in.
By funding $107 million in scholarships and programming for diverse communities.
Don't worry. I'll be back.
When a bank does what it says,
I knew you could do it.
opportunity happens. Doing gets it done. Wells Fargo, the bank of doing.
A 22-year-old senior was found in a campus residence of an apparent suicide this semester.
He hid the depth of his pain and chose a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
A lot of my performance dictated my mental health and just like my mental well-being.
Depression can affect anybody. It does not discriminate.
I just want to make talking about mental health normal.
Hey Trojan fans, I'm Eddie Chaplitsky. Welcome to the Coliseum and Fight On.
Hi Trojan fans, it's Jared Kingston. Welcome to the Coliseum. Be sure to cheer us on today. Fight on.
What's up Trojan fans, it's Lake McCree. Welcome to the Coliseum. Hope you have a good time. Fight on.
What's up Trojan family, it's Michael Jackson III. Welcome to the Coliseum. Enjoy the game. Fight on.
What up Trojan family, this is Damani Jackson. Welcome to the Coliseum. Fight on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the United Airlines field at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum for today's matchup featuring the visiting Nevada Wolfpack and the home team, your University of Southern California Trojans, home of 135 national championships. We hope you enjoy the entire game day experience this evening, and we remind you to please follow the Trojan Spirit Code by showing respect for all fans in attendance. Thank you, and fight on.
League and Rally for Prescription to Win interview. Coach, we're celebrating 100 years here at the Coliseum. What does it mean to you and your team to play in this venue?
Yeah, 100 years of great memories. It's a blessing for all of us to get to coach in here, to play in here, to get to watch a game in here. Let's make sure that the Coliseum is live today. Can't wait to get started.
You've seen your team against the opponent week 1. What do you want to see from them in week 2?
Yeah, improvement. That first game, you learn a lot. These guys have worked hard in practice. They want to come out with a great performance. We're looking forward to today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Members of the Trojan family, we are proud to present the Spirit of Troy, the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band. Band, take the field. With drum major Jacobo Herrera, twirler Emily Tutnick, and the SC Silks. To honor our great nation and those serving in the armed forces, will you please rise and remove your caps for the presentation of the colors by the University of Southern California ROTC Color Guards. Joining the color guard on the field is a representative of the SoCal Pipe Trades, CPMCA, and IBEW NECA of LA County, proud supporters of USC athletics and our military veterans. Today we honor this week's student veteran of the game, Chai Chet. Chai Chet served as a vehicle mechanic in the U.S. Air Force in the 627 Logistics Readiness Squadron and served out of Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington. He is from Cambodia Town in Long Beach, California. Chai deployed to Qatar in support of ongoing conflicts in the region. He attends the Computer Science and Business Administration program at the USC Viterbi School of Engineering. Please join us in welcoming Chai Chet as our student veteran of the game and thanking him for his service. Please remain standing and join in singing as the Trojan Marching Band, under the direction of Dr. Jacob Vogel, plays our national anthem. Featuring the USC Spirit Leaders and the world-famous USC Songgirls, the Spirit of Troy proudly presents Lady Gaga's Bad Romance. And now, collegiate football's greatest battle cry, Conquest. The Trojans mascot, Traveler. The Spirit of Troy, the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band.
Fans, we'd like to thank Roll 'em Up Taquitos for their support of the Trojans. Joining us on the field for today's game ball presentation is USC Sports Properties Director of Partnership Development, Ben Flora, who will be presenting the game ball to co-founder and owner Tiffany Usray, and Chief Operating Officer and partner of Roll 'em Up Taquitos, Sam Fonseca. Thank you, and fight on. Trojan fans, here are today's Audi keys to the game.
Trojan fans, who's ready? We need you on your feet. Who's ready for our team to come out on the field? Oh, we need everybody standing. Come on your feet. Let me see those victory signs everywhere. That's not loud enough. That's not loud enough. Let me see those victory signs. What section is going to be the loud section? Here we go. Uh-oh, look, they're coming out the locker room. They're coming out the locker room. Who's excited? Uh-oh, they're coming down the tunnel. Who's ready? Oh, you better be on your feet. On your feet. Who's ready? Who's ready? 3, 2, 1. Somebody scream!
And now, please turn your attention to the tunnel and your tunnel captain for today's game. College basketball legend, 3-time Naismith Award winner, 2-time NCAA national champion, and Olympic gold medalist, Cheryl Miller.
What up, Trojan fans? Hey, let's bring up everybody. Get up. Everybody get up. We're about to bring our men of Trojan out. Come on, stand up. It is their journey. They control their final destination. Hey, gentlemen, let's get our fight on. Put your hands in the
Touchdown, USC. Trojans right down the field.
Hey, I hold it down, ain't no holding back or holding up. Hold up a trophy cup, a simple toast, don't holding up. Blowing up, can't reverse the damage, so you know it's us. Try to reach, all I know is speed, all you know is dust.
Nobody over there in that corner.
She got real will, but it still lasts. I can't relate you a gas can to a lit match, might blow you away.
And USC pulling away from the
Now taking the field, your USC Trojans.